there, what is up guys? I'm Tony and this is Activism on the Fly, my very public journey to becoming a better ally, advocate, and activist. Today we're going to be talking about something very controversial. We're going to dig into what does defund the police mean?
In tackling an issue this controversial, I really wanted to get into a good, solid analysis of the big questions. What does it mean? How and why do people want to defund the police? What are the main arguments for, and what are the main arguments against? I just really wanted to do a thorough job, and as a result, this video was a little bit long. So I decided what I would do is I would break it up into a 3-part series on defunding the police. So the first part is going to tackle what does it even mean? I think there's a lot of confusion, misinterpretation, and I wanted to dig into that first. The second video will cover why do people want to defund the police? What are the main arguments that people are using to support this point of view? The third video will look at some arguments against defunding the police. Many of them are kind of common sense that you've probably thought of already on your own, but we'll get into that in the third video with a conclusion. So that'll be that, and without further ado, let's get to it. We've got a lot to unpack here.
I think this issue is really important. It is a very hot button issue right now, and the tagline, defund the police, is so fiery and short that I think a lot of people aren't digging in to fully understand. When I first heard this chant at protests and when I first saw this hashtag, I was thinking, that sounds pretty radical. Well, that's never gonna happen. It wasn't until I started doing more research and reading what this actually means, the history behind policing, that I started to understand what the defund the police crowd is actually asking for. All I want to do is come at issues from a place of understanding and knowledge. So that's what I'm trying to do. Full disclosure, you're not going to get from me an answer of should we or shouldn't we, is this right or wrong? Because honestly, I'm still grappling with this myself and I'm not exactly sure. So what does defund the police mean? The annoying answer for all of us trying to get information is that it doesn't just mean one thing to everybody. It means different things to different people. So in terms of thinking about how we could evolve the policing system in the US, most people are seeing that there are some problems. There are some flaws in the system and some things need to change. So I'm not even going to address everything's perfect and keep it as is. There are a lot of people who want reforms to the police department. A lot of people are talking about the 8 that can't wait, banning chokeholds and more community policing, all different kinds of reforms. Reforms tend to mean actually more money, so that is not defunding. Defunding the police means exactly what it sounds like, taking money out of the police, but there are varying degrees of where people think that this should lead to. Should we take all the money from the police? Should we take half of their money? Should we take just like this portion? And that's kind of where the biggest grayscale is of how much we're defunding police. And then there are abolitionists who want to abolish the police. Okay, so defund the police, abolish the police. They're two separate things, and people could believe in both. People could believe in defunding the police as a means to the end of abolishing police departments completely in the US. So an acquaintance of mine from college is a defund the police supporter, but from a totally different spectrum, and it has nothing to do with racism. It has to do with the fact that he's a libertarian, so he believes that like all of the government should be defunded. There are other things that people point to other than the killing of Black people. So that's kind of the scale of where people fit in.
All right, guys, so that's it in a nutshell. That is what defund the police means. Pretty plain and simple. If you want to find out more information about this topic, like the reasons that people want to defund the police, please go ahead and click that next video. I'm going to be posting it tomorrow, and it's going to be all about why people want to defund the police. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe for more activism related content.